Hey everybody, it's Jen. I am so excited about this video because I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 productivity hacks that have changed my life, and they might change yours too. So let's do it. First of all, before I get started, if you're wondering why should I listen to this girl about productivity hacks, you should know, if you're new and you don't know who I am, I have 3 boys that are now all 3 in college. Actually, my oldest just graduated from college, and my husband and I have raised them both while having full-time careers. And in my husband's case, he has traveled a great deal of the time. So over the years, I have had to learn quite a few tips and tricks on how to squeeze the most productivity out of every day. Now, you need to know, I am not just a fan of working hard. I am also a huge fan of playing hard. So if you want more on that, go check out the video I did about how to take a day off and why you probably need one, because I am a big proponent of that. However, when I am working and when I am trying to be productive, I want to squeeze as much productivity out of every minute as I can so that I can get to the fun stuff and the relaxing and spending time with my family and minimize my stress as much as possible. Now, you will find plenty of productivity hacks online. What I'm sharing with you today are the 5 that have worked the best for me personally, and I hope that you find some inspiration. So the number one thing that I started doing about 2 years ago that has changed my life is turning off notifications. And I mean everywhere. I don't have them turned on my phone. I don't have them turned on my iPad. I don't have them turned on my MacBook. They are off. And as they say, I don't take calls, I make calls. And all that means is I go to email when I have time for email. I log into Facebook when I have time for Facebook. Even YouTube, which is my job, I log into YouTube when I have time to respond to comments and to engage on that platform. I don't allow the social media platform to decide how I'm going to spend my time. So if I have time blocked out for, say, filming a video or scripting a video, or maybe I have time blocked out for answering email, I'm not also getting dings from Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and everything else. It's just too much. And someone told me this years ago, if you watched that recent documentary on Netflix, I think it was called The Social Dilemma, that's one of the things they talked about, that nothing will get you out of the work you're doing quicker than just that little teeny ding. And you think you don't notice it and you think you can ignore it, but you really can't. And yes, I even have it on my phone. And the way that I got around that is, I would say a good 70% of the time, I have my phone set to do not disturb except for favorites. Now, my favorites include obviously my husband, my mom, my best friend, my children, my doctor, anybody and everyone that if they called you, you would want to know about it. Maybe it's your kid's school. Put those things in your favorites and put your phone on do not disturb pretty much all the time for everybody else. And I promise you, you will have a much more peaceful life. And yes, I think you will be more productive. All right, number 2, I want you to plan your day, your week, your month, and yes, even your year. Did you like that friend's nod? I thought that was good. So you guys know I'm a big proponent of planning. This does not have to be in a plum paper planner with stickers and all of that. It could be an electronic planner. It can be however you find it most efficient. But if you do not put those big things in your calendar and you do not schedule them, they will not happen. They will sneak up on you and you will find yourself with a broken air conditioner because you forgot to change the filter, or a cavity because you didn't go to the dentist, or a dust mite problem because you didn't change your sheets. Yes, you know who I'm talking to. From the big things to the small things, if something must be done regularly in order for you to adult well and to be healthy, I want it in your planner. January is a fantastic time to go ahead and schedule all of your doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, maybe even your hair appointments for the entire year. I found this incredibly important when I had a job where I really only had one day a week where I could take care of all of those things. So I had to make sure that I had them scheduled well in advance. For example, if that one day of the week for you is maybe Saturday, you're going to want to get that scheduled far in advance because there's a whole bunch of other working people that are trying to get that scheduled on Saturday as well. I have everything marked down from when the vet appointments need to happen for the dogs to when I need to change out my contact lenses to yes, when do we need to change the sheets? What day of the week am I going to clean the bathrooms? There are just certain things about our lives that must happen on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. And the quicker you can get those planned and in your calendar, the happier and the more productive you will be. Hack number 3, take some time to evaluate your current life and identify the frequent frustrations. If you can never find your keys, if your husband can never find his wallet, if your child can never find his retainer, it is time to reevaluate your systems. Experts tell us that we spend 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. And let's use the example of keys. How many times do you look for the keys before you decide that maybe you need a key hook by the garage door? How many times does your husband misplace his wallet before you decide that maybe he needs his own basket somewhere by the door or in the kitchen, where anytime someone else might find his wallet, like me, it can go right in that space. So many times we get frustrated by things and we really do let the tail wag the dog because these things frustrate us day in and day out, but we don't really take any time and we don't really take any money to fix these things that are sucking out our life force like Death Eaters. So really be intentional. And it's January, so it's a great time to do this kind of thing, or it might still be December when this video goes up, but you know what I mean. Really look through the entire process of your day, the kids getting ready routine, the nighttime routine, all of those little details. Identify the parts of that day that are causing anxiety and figure out, is there something we could do to help? And it may require a little bit of money, but when you think about all of the time you'll be saving by not having the frustration and not having that Death Eater feeling because you're stressed out, I really think it's worth it. And if you don't take stock and do this process, you'll never really stop and address those issues. So look at the things that frustrate you and do something about them. All right, number 4 is oh so very practical. And I love this one because it's so round and approachable. Anybody can do this. I want you to follow the one to use and one for the Larter rule. Now, I grew up with this rule. I don't know where my mom got it. I don't know if she made it up. I don't know if I read it somewhere. However, I use it and it works like a dream. What that means is anything in your life that you use on a daily basis. So everything, like for me, from contact solution to the night cream that I use to toilet paper and Kleenex, and then things in the kitchen like mayonnaise and mustard, and if you're at our house, tuna and vanilla, which, by the way, don't use tuna and vanilla together. That would be disgusting. I mean, you do you, but I wouldn't recommend. My rule of thumb for things that you're going to use day in and day out is always buy 2. So you have one that can be used and one that is in backstock. If 2020 taught us anything, it's that you never know when something you use all the time is going to run out. And even if you're living in a very small space, usually everybody has room for one more of that item that they use all the time. And you don't want to be frustrated and wasting time because you don't have the makeup remover wipes that you like, or you don't have toothpaste, or you don't have a toothbrush, or just all of those things that we really need to function well. So my advice would be really sit down and think through what those things are. What does your family need to use day in and day out? And then always make sure you buy 2. This is also helpful because if those things go on sale, you can actually stock up. We do this for things like, regular soap and shampoo. You're going to go through it. So if you have the financial means to buy more than 2 and it's on sale, all the better. I'm not talking about hoarding, but I am saying those things you use regularly, have one to use and one for the larder. All right, now number 5. This is something that your mother taught you from the time you were a very little child, or maybe it was your dad, or maybe it was your grandmother. Clean your room. Now, we know that the kitchen and bathroom have to stay clean and sanitized or people can get sick, but I have found that we allow our bedrooms to turn into the dumping ground. A lot of us live, and I have done this too for seasons of my life, with laundry everywhere. We don't vacuum regularly. We don't dust regularly. We don't change our sheets regularly. And I really believe that a huge key to being productive is getting good sleep. And you cannot get good sleep if you are not in a clean and orderly bedroom. Now, what orderly means to you and what it means to me may mean very different things. But if you go to bed at night and you walk in your room to get ready for bed and you just have this kind of like sinking feeling and you frequently think, why do we live this way? It's probably time to deep clean your bedroom. Now, this is a good time to let you know that if you are not already subscribed to my channel, it would be great if you would and turn on your bell notifications, because the next video that you see on this channel next week is going to be about that, how to deep clean your bedroom and tips and tricks to make sure that it is as restful as it can be. It is such a time suck if you are tired, because if you're me, if I'm tired, I'm distracted. And if I'm distracted, I am not productive. So it all ties together. So make sure you have a clean and orderly room, and make sure you come back next week so that we can talk about how you can achieve that. So being super productive does not mean that you are a better person than anyone else. It does not mean that you have any more value than anyone else, but it can mean that you feel like you're getting more out of all the time that you have. That same 24 hours that we all have, why not make the most of it and get done as much as humanly possible, especially if we can do a few things that are super easy that will really add minutes and hours and maybe even days to our lives in 2021. I'm so glad you were here today. It's always an honor to make videos for you guys. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're finding joy. And if you like this video, please help me out by giving it a big thumbs up and sharing it with a friend. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.